We are live.
Hello. Hi. Is anybody there?
Wait for some amazing people to come flooding in.
Wait here. Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hello. It's just me and you, Tyler.
It's just me and you at the moment.
Me and you.
It has been a little bit since we've done one of these.
It's been a while since we did a live one, a little bit earlier than normal, so maybe. All right. Are we on? Reaction?
Tell us how your day's going, Tracy.
The day this morning was busy. We are waiting for some transfers to happen because we've got people that are coming into care that we need to look after this afternoon that are actually got services tomorrow. So we're actually waiting for 4 people to arrive. So the transfer team are out at the moment, and hospitals and nursing homes picking up these lovely people that we need to prepare for their funerals tomorrow. So yeah, we will be very busy hopefully in the next hour when we receive our loved ones into care. So when they get here, when they come into care, the process will be to check their IDs, check we've got the correct body for the correct service, and we'll go ahead and wash and prepare the face, which is basically prep and red stamp up in the coffins. So that's what we'll be doing this afternoon. No embalming this afternoon. It's all basic preps that we know of. We don't know if we're getting any trauma cases in. I don't think we are. I think it's all basic preps. So, yeah. So it's going to be busy in the next hour or so. So yeah. So yay. Busy this morning. A little break where we do this, and then busy again.
Looks like we may not be streaming to TikTok right now as nobody's joining in. People who are here, hello. We are testing out some new software today that allows us to stream on multiple channels at the same time. So just bear with us while we ensure everything is working correctly.
Yeah.
And obviously a big hello and welcome to everyone who has already joined us today.
Hello. Hope you guys are all well. Yeah. I've just been talking about what I'm about to do this afternoon at work. So I say we're waiting for 4 people coming in. That's 4 deceased people, unfortunately, who have services tomorrow. So we bring them into care to look after them. So hope your day is going well wherever you are. Could be night, could be morning. It is. What time is it here? It's 10:35 in the morning here in Brisbane in Australia. It's hot today. Temperature's going to get up to, I think, 37. It's going to be hot. So this is a good place to be in the cool mortuary that we're in. And the mortuary went to look after people. So it's a good day to be at work. It's too hot to be outside.
So, okay, we have some viewers joining us today. Hello, everyone. Now, today is our Wednesday live stream, half an hour earlier than we usually do.
Yeah.
But it's very busy. So we're working with what we got here. And today we're joined by our lovely Tracy, our mortician here at McCartney Family Funerals. And we are fortunate enough today to be able to ask her some questions about the industry and her role and what she does and just everything about it. So if you have any curiosities or questions or queries or anything for Tracy,
What would you like to know?
what would you like to know?
I work in a mortuary. I care for deceased bodies. I wash and dress. I also embalm bodies. I'm also an embalmer, so we embalm when needed. Here in Queensland, Australia, we don't embalm a lot of people. It's not the norm as it is in some places. So it's only maybe it's one a week, if that, or a month. We embalm, but mainly it's basic wash, dress the person, get them into their coffin or casket, ready for their services. And we've got a few services this week. It's been very busy. So yeah, it's been a very busy time here in the death industry, actually, right across the world. It is, we've got peak death happening. It's very, very busy everywhere.
Yeah.
So we only have a short time at the moment to do this live stream. So If you've got any questions, ask me now so we can get them all in before we have to put off, before my deceased arrive and I have to go back to work. So, yeah, any questions?
Okay, yes, we'll kick it off just with a really simple one, Tracy. So, what does a mortician actually do?
Okay, so a mortician is a person that in a funeral home, this is what a mortician does in a funeral home, where somebody that looks after deceased bodies, we're in charge of taking care of anybody that's brought in for services, which is funeral services, anybody that's brought in for direct cremation, so they're not having a service, there's no service, there's no attendance, or embalmment for anybody that is going involved or be transported to another country or for religious reasons or family requests. So a mortician actually prepares the deceased body. So that means I wash, I dress, I do a face prep, which is suturing the mouth closed, cleaning the eyes, cleaning the nose, cleaning the throat. And also I specialise in, not all morticians do this, but I specialise in reconstruction. So anybody in trauma, I can rebuild, reattach limbs, reattach heads, things like that. But basically, mortician washes, dresses, prepares bodies for services. So, hope that answered that for you.
Very
Then
nice.
there's a big background of what morticians and embalmers do after that too. So yeah, there's a lot.
What advice do you have for families when planning a funeral, just off of your time in the industry?
Okay, so my advice when you're planning a funeral is don't rush. Do not rush. Don't think you have to have that done in the next day or two. You've got to go home. You've got to take time. Don't, as soon as the person dies, whatever, don't think you've got to sort it all out within that day or within the next day. You need time to think. You need time to actually, come to grips with the death of your loved one also. So that's the top advice is do not rush in organising the funeral service, in organising what you want. Have time with your friends and family to talk about what you want to do, how to pay, how to celebrate the life of that person that's just died. So that's my number one tip. Do not rush when you've just lost somebody. So yeah.
Answered. They've got quite a few people from all across our channels. Yes. Just so to go out, everyone is here. This is our Wednesday live stream, a little bit earlier than usual, but you guys know the drill already. Welcome back, all of our returning viewers. We're so grateful to have you.
Yeah.
And today we are again joined by Tracy. Very, very fortunate to be able to do these live streams with someone like Tracy and to learn about her role here at McCartney Family Funerals.
Yes. Ask me about anything.
We have a lot of people saying this would be their dream job. I would love to do this. So, Tracy, why don't we just kick it off with how do you get into the industry?
Okay, so industry. To get into the industry here in Queensland, Australia, is basically on-the-job training. So I would suggest that if you live in Australia, is just approach all your funeral homes, your local funeral homes, write into them, send in your resume, your CV, cover letter, and ask for interest. But my advice is it's very hard to get into mortuary work if you've never done any kind of clinical work before. So what you need to do is just get your foot in the door. So become a funeral director's assistant. Do the transfers, which means transfer the deceased from their nursing homes, hospitals, and coroners. Doing the roles of everything outside the mortuary first, and then when you're actually working in a funeral home, you can then ask to have days in the mortuary to see preparations happening, and from there, that's how you learn. And then eventually you could come in and somebody like me and my partner will train you up to be a mortician. Now it's different in different parts of the world. I know in America that you have to go to school. It's schools for morticians and funeral directors. I think that's a 3-year course. But once you're in the industry, got your foot in the door here in Queensland, it is a good way to get into the mortuary. But of course, to be an embalmer, that's different. You do need to go to it's like college for 3 years. It's a course you have to do here in Australia, but you have to have access to a mortuary, bodies, and a mentor, so somebody like me would mentor you. So yeah, that's how you get in the industry here in Australia. So I can't speak for the rest of the world, but yeah, send out your CV, send in your letters to all your local funeral homes. Just put out your interest, and good luck.
Well said, Tracy. So we have another question coming in from Clementine Jessen. Tracy, can you stop the family from viewing the deceased, even if the family insists? So I believe she's referring to trauma cases.
Yeah, so you've trauma, decomposition, and all of that kind of thing. Absolutely no way. I wouldn't stop the family. I would advise against it if we've got somebody that's so badly decomposed or the trauma is so bad that I can't fix it. I would advise against the viewing, but we cannot stop anybody viewing a body. That person doesn't belong to us, it belongs to you. We have no rights to do that. There's no we're just a caretaker. We're just caring for the deceased. If you want to take that person home yourself, you can. It's your person, your body. You can do. You cannot be stopped from seeing the loved one. But what I would do if I have trauma cases and I advise against not seeing them and the family want to see them, we just do our best to prepare them so there's less trauma to see, less smell to smell, and work on that person as much as we possibly can to get them to a viewable stage. And maybe even wrap the whole body up and leave just a hand out or something like that. And it's up to the family if they want to unwrap there. So absolutely, we cannot say.
Thank you for the gifts, guys.
Yeah, but good question though. But no, nobody should stop me from doing that. Stop me from seeing my mum, and that's why I'm here. So no, we can't. So, yeah. Question, thanks.
Well said, Tracy. We have another question coming from Miss Wren today. So if you're being cremated, can you have your dentures left in?
Yes, absolutely. Dentures in. We love to do face prep and have the dentures. If the dentures are there, yeah, of course. They'll just get they'll just disappear in the cremator. It's so hot, they'll just melt, disappear. So yeah, have your dentures in. Yeah, we want you going out with your teeth so you can celebrate where you're off to in your next life. Keep your teeth in and your dentures in. Definitely you can.
We have hello from the UK. I want to work with you. You're very popular, Tracy.
All right, come on over.
Love the job that you guys do. And Tracy, this is a personal one actually. What country are you from? Very commonly asked question.
I'm from the UK. Yeah, I'm from the UK, and I know you've had lots of snow. And I've just been. Actually, I was in the UK in November, so and it was snowing, and it's been a long time since I've been back home in the winter time in the UK. But I'm from the northeast of England, so yes, I know how cold it gets. Yes, but I have lived there for 80. I've been in Australia 80 years, but yes, you probably can tell from the accent. If you're from the UK, you can tell I'm from the northeast of England. I haven't lost my accent. So yeah, from the beautiful place of County Durham, with a lovely cathedral and castle, the best one in the world, I would say, Durham Cathedral and Durham Castle. That's where I'm from.
Well, the first time we're having some of our YouTube subscribers flow in and have a look, having a little talk in the chat. We have a big hello from Big Joe 10. Tracy, this is a question. What do you do if somebody dies from drinking too much? Is there a different process you take or is it the same?
So you're talking about anybody that's maybe an alcoholic. I think if you mean alcoholic, somebody died with either an overdose of alcohol or an alcoholic, the process is still that where we wash, dress, and look after the deceased person. But often when people die with alcoholism or anything like that, they tend to have jaundice, which means they go yellow and the liver is damaged and they usually swell and fill with a lot of fluid. So the only process is I would cavity aspirate. And aspirate means I've got a big trocar where I make an incision, and it's a bit like liposuction. What this trocar does, it just draws out fluid in gas and it gets rid of it, brings the tummy down. And I would get all of that fluid out, seal that little hole up that I've just made, and wash and dress and put them in the coffin as normal. And maybe a little bit cosmetizing needs to be done because they're quite yellow, it gets very jaundiced. So yeah, that's what I do. So nothing majorly different, but yeah, that's what I do with a case of alcohol. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is that the first question I see come through on our YouTube channel on the live stream over there, we're going to answer that one. So
Okay.
there's a lot of questions coming through on TikTok. I can't catch them all, but the first one to come through on YouTube
Yeah.
from a subscriber, then we're going to answer it straight away. So
What have you got for me?
let's see. Head over to the YouTube. The first one that I see come through, we're going to answer. In the meantime, though,
Yeah.
Tracy,
Yeah.
what is one of the strangest requests that you've got from a family?
Oh, strangest requests. Taking their loved one to the hairdressers when they've died, when they wanted to come in, pop them in the car, pop them to the salon, have the hair done in style the way they always had it done, and bring them back. Unfortunately, you can't do that. You can't do. It's like a weekend at Bernie's for the old people. You know what that means, but no, you cannot take your loved one in the car to the salon because one, I don't think the salon would be happy about that. And I'm sure the people in the salon having the hair done would not be happy about it, their body being in the salon. So probably that's one of the more up there things I've been asked to do. So luckily I'm an ex-hairdresser and beautician, so I just said to the person, if you give me a photo, I can do the hair exactly the same. And I did, and they were very happy. So yeah, that's what we do. One of the wackiest. How do you?
Very, very strange request.
Yeah, it is a strange question. YouTube questions?
We have actually had one come through, so we're going to answer this one right away. But just before we answer this, everybody, thank you so much for all the support that you show.
Yeah.
Please go and check out our YouTube, go and check out our Instagram and Facebook. We have our social accounts on all of those platforms. We're really trying to drive our YouTube just because we all know what's going on with TikTok at the moment. So we definitely want to secure another stable platform where we can talk to you guys on and keep on releasing the videos that we do. So please do go and show your support, subscribe, comment, like the videos. It's all very, very appreciated. And we're going to answer the question that came through on the YouTube. Tracy, have you ever had someone that you're caring for that's had glass in their body?
Yes, yes, many times. Yeah.
What is the process for caring for that?
Well, the risk of most of the time, if people have got glass in the body, it's from an accident. Anybody that's killed in an accident, for whatever you so say, let's say it's a car accident, that's the most likely place you'll get glass in the body. So if somebody dies, it's a road traffic accident, that person will go to the coronial investigation first. They will not come to a funeral home first. That has to be investigated by the coroner and a pathologist. They have to do an autopsy. We do not do autopsies here, and I'm not a pathologist. That would happen in a different place. Once that's all finished and we have permission to pick up that deceased person, we'll bring them into care. And what usually happens, if they've had an autopsy or if they haven't had an autopsy, the pathologists don't do the work of removing all the debris from a body that's actually still in the body. So that would be my job. So when we get them in, we unwrap them from the body bag, from the coronial place, and we wash down. And you can usually see that there's glass in the body. And basically, we've got to be very careful and pick that glass out. If there's big shards, you can see, you can remove them easily. But a lot of the times, there's lots of tiny little, because the window screens will shatter to tiny pieces so they don't cut you. And a lot of it's in the hair, which is really hard to get out. So a lot of conditioning and brushing, comb it out. Just basically washing the body down gently and removing these bits of glass out of the body. And then the process is to make sure if there's any cuts, well, obviously there's trauma because it's a motor vehicle accident. So then I go to process it by either suturing up any openings, any cuts, anything like that. Cuts to the faces, I'll repair, and I would do a little mini reconstruction to make them look viewable, have them clean and look presentable and peaceful for the family to see after that. So yeah, I have many times.
I just asked where everyone's joining us from, Tracy. We have people from Queensland here. We have people from South Africa, Missouri in the US, St. Lucia. So we have lots of people joining us from all over the globe. It's always so good to see. Clementine, I have got so many questions. I just want to address this one. It stood out to me. We have so many videos on our TikTok and on our YouTube that covers such a vast amount of questions from you guys. So if we don't get around to your question in particular today,
Yeah.
then do check out our profiles because there are an abundance of short form and long term videos on a lot of these questions that I'm seeing. So please go and check those out. California, Philadelphia, Melbourne, England, West Virginia, Canada, Sydney. Always so great to see. So Tracy, after you embalm somebody, do they go back into our cold storage?
They do. They do usually go back into our cold storage. You don't have to put anybody back in cold storage once embalmed. When you've embalmed them, it depends on the level of embalmment. So embalmment's just not a flat, I've embalmed a body. I could have embalmed a body that's very, what we call a TP, which is temporary preserve, which means it's a very light embalm. Means the percentage of fluid I've used is not very strong. So all I want to do is preserve that body for a week or two. So definitely still keep them cold storage. But if I'm embalming somebody at 4%, which 4% is somebody that's been buried in an above-ground vault or been repatriated to another country, I could leave them out in the mortuary just in the air conditioning and they'll be fine because they're embalmed. What embalming does is slows the decomposition down extremely, slows it down to like go very slowly. But because we don't just want deceased hanging around in the mortuary and out in the corridors, it's just not what it is. It's better just to keep them in cold storage. So we just keep them in cold storage along with the other deceased persons until they're ready for their service. They'll be transferred to another country or wherever, or going home for a few days or whatever it is. So yeah, I tend to keep them in the cold storage, but you don't have to.
Very well answered. So this person has been asking this question. I feel like I can actually answer this one. I'm still wondering about someone raising up while deceased. No, Mike, this does not happen. The most that would happen is the release of gas. They would make it noise, but
Yeah.
nobody.
Nobody sits up.
That is a myth. No
Nobody
one sits up. No one moves.
No. What happens is the person doesn't move. When we're preparing and rolling and moving, the lungs still have air in them. So when we're moving the body, washing and rolling on the table, we're pushing that air out. So the air can come out the mouth and make a noise and make the head move slightly and stuff like that. But the body does not literally sit up. And if anybody says to do well, in the 12 years I've worked here in the funeral industry, I've never seen a body sit up. The only time anything like that may happen, I did an interview for my channel in a crematorium with Tim, the guy that owns a crematorium, and he said the only time that happens is sometimes when the bodies are being cremated, they start to lift up slightly, but that's just because when we're burning, and it's the same as anybody that dies in a fire, is all the muscles start to contract up and move up, and the body might move slightly, but that's just for the process of the cremation. So no, bodies don't sit up on their own and they don't move, they don't do anything. We move them, we dress them, any noises that come out is because of the movement and the air being pushed out. So myth was, sorry, I don't have anybody go poo. Unless Tyler's going to come on my table tonight when I'm he's going to jump off the table and scare me.
Might do that now.
No.
All right. We're going to do some rapid fire questions. So we're going to try and get through a heap of them as quick as we can.
Okay.
So first one is from our YouTube. So have you ever conducted a multi-family funeral?
I've never conducted any funeral. I'm not a conductor. I'm not a funeral director. I don't conduct the funerals. I don't do the funerals. I prepare the bodies for the funerals. So no, I've never done that. So
And
my job's behind the scenes.
have you ever prepared a family together? Say they passed away in an auto accident?
Yes, many times. I've prepared families that have been killed in accidents. But I tell you what's very common that I've done lots and lots of times over my year is husband and wife or partners dying within days of each other. And I've always prepared them together put them on the table and do them together. And when the one thing I do when I do that, I always make a point of putting the tables together and I get them to hold hands. I leave the room, go and have a break for 10 minutes because I feel like they need private time. I mean, that's just what I do. I just feel I need to give this book private time, and then I come back and cough and I'll put them in the casket. So yes, I've done it many times.
Beautiful. Tracy, can you tell just by looking at a body how long a person has been deceased?
Oh, after years of working, you kind of can work out roughly, but you know, I couldn't tell you time of death, exact date of death and stuff like that. But you can go, oh, yeah, this body's been deceased for at least 3 or 4 weeks just by the state or, you know, the advanced parts of decomposition. But I'm not a pathologist, so I can't, and I'm not a scientist, so I can't give you exact. He died on September the 11th at 2 o'clock, or she died on August the 2nd at 3 o'clock. I can't do any of that. But yeah, you can tell when somebody's been dead for a certain amount of time. Yeah.
Do morticians ever sew eyes shut?
No, we don't store the eyes shut. We only put eye caps in. I'll just get you an eye cap. Don't know if you can see that. So the eye caps have little barbs on them and they go in the eyes and that holds the eyelid down. But eyelids do get sutured when the eyes have been donated, and that's from a donation place. We don't do that. People come in, take the eyes off, and then put little tiny sutures in once they've donated the eyes. But we never suture the eyes. We just use eye caps.
Very nice. So Tracy, what is a cavity pack and what is it used for?
Cavity pack. Now, I think I'm not sure what you're talking about, a cavity pack. I don't know what a pack is. If you're talking about cavity aspirating, is where we take all the gas and fluid out of the cavity and then we replace it with a cavity fluid, which is basically when we take the fluid out and the gas out, what we've done there is move the bacteria out, so we have to stop that decomposition. So we add a chemical in, which is an embalming chemical, just to slow it down because of that. But if you're talking about a cavity pack after an autopsy, somebody's had an autopsy, the organs are being removed, the brain's being removed, it's put into a pack and it's placed into the cavity and sutured, the Y suture, and that's where the organs of the brain sit. That's a cavity pack, I think that's what you might say.
I wonder if you will know this one. So if a person is deceased with a blood alcohol level on the day of their death, is it going to be the same 5 days later?
I have no idea.
No idea.
No, yeah, I'm not a doctor and scientist or anything like that. I don't know what that level would be.
For Megari, the one who asked that question, try Google. You will most likely find your answer. Sorry, we don't have the answer to that one.
Yeah, that's a medical question of why, you know, pathologists would have to do urine samples. You'd have to have urine and blood samples to know the level of toxicity of any kind of toxic in your body, from drugs to alcohol. So yeah, no, not my department.
Tracy, how long does it take to become a qualified mortician?
A mortician here in Queensland, Australia, like I just said, it's on the job training. So we can have you up in training to be a mortician within a few months. We're not at advanced stages. You still have onboard training for up to a year, where you then on your own. In other countries, I know you have to go to schooling, so to do mortuary work. So I think that's up to 3 years. But to be an embalmer, that's a total different ballgame. It's 3 years college. So mortician, just doing basic wash and dress and preps, just a few months. But embalmer, 3 years training. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we have a comment from the YouTube. Tracy, what would have happened to Elvis as he was brought back to his home? What prep would he have gone through?
I think he was embalmed he was embalmed, and if he went home for a while, he would have been embalmed. So basically, we embalm people that go home, so they can be preserved for a little bit of a while. So yeah, he would have been embalmed and took home so the family could do their goodbyes at home with him. Yes, I'm sure he was embalmed and had, because I think he's in a vault in in America, where he's buried. I think it's got a vault, as far as I remember. But yeah, he would have definitely been embalmed if he was going home. And America, everybody nearly gets embalmed, so I would imagine he was.
We have a question from user 863. Tracy, how do you protect yourself from someone who has died from a very contagious disease? Do we want to show some PPE?
Yeah. Okay. So, this is how I dress every day. I don't just wear this just for fun, and I don't wear this just if somebody comes in with a very contagious disease. We put this on. And again. This is worn every day to prep every single body, okay? We treat everybody as infectious because we don't know what anybody's got. All we have is information about what they've died of, heart attack, that's it. We get no more information. We don't get medical history or anything like that. So we don't know if this person has influenza A, which is a killer too, the flu that kills you. So this person could have influenza A. They could have hepatitis C. They could have anything. So basically, we dress in our full PPE every single day from morning till afternoon. So I'm always in full PPE and never ever would prep a body or touch a body without that. Once we've prepared them, once we've disinfected them, once we've washed them and put them in the coffin, it is then safe to touch without any PPE on. So yeah, everybody's checked that way.
Wonderful answer, Tracy. Thank you for showing us that. We have a question from Jay. Do you prepare the deceased before cremation? I believe I could almost answer this one. Here at McCartney Family Funerals, we treat everybody the same, whether it's a cremation or a funeral.
Yeah, so I think you're referring to a direct cremation, so no service, no attendance. All right. So people, I think this stems from different parts of the world where embalming's common. So if you get cremated, you don't need embalming. Here we don't embalm everybody, but you can be embalmed to be cremated if family wish or for whatever reason if they're going home first. So direct cremations, we still prepare everybody. We still care for every single body that comes in here, whether the family are going to see them or not. Because one, a direct cremation could be that we've prepared the person, they're getting cremated tomorrow, the family's decided they want direct, no viewing, no service. So what happens if a funeral home just puts them in a box and doesn't even bother about it? Then the family, the morning of that cremation, decide, oh, really, I really want to see my grandma. I wasn't thinking straight. Oh my God. Now I really want to see them before they get cremated. Well, one, you shouldn't stop anybody. And two, if you've come to us and we've prepared your body and I've prepared your body, I can go, yeah, you can open the lid of that coffin and that person is prepared. You know, they're clean, washed, they're dressed. Because sometimes the family still bring in clothes. If they don't bring in clothes, we put a shroud, which is basically, it's a breastum, which is a white material shroud that we put wrap the body up in. So whatever they want, they're always prepared. So there's no shock when we do direct cremations. We always prepare everybody for direct cremations. So yes, washed, dressed, and looked after. It's somebody's loved one. We care for them. We have to. We'd sleep at night if we didn't. So that's for sure. So yeah. So that's what we do. I'm sure other funeral homes don't do all of that, but we do.
Just saw a message. How is the audio, everybody? Can you guys still hear Tracy clearly?
Oh.
Can you hear me clearly?
Is it my accent? Covering my accent, they go, what's she saying? Is it my accent? Oh, sorry, it's my accent.
Look, we're getting a lot of yeses from the chat. Thank you, guys.
Well, yes, is that they can hear or not?
Yes, they can hear us. They can hear us, Tracy.
So my accent's not that bad.
Okay, what we might do, we're at 35 minutes at the moment. Are we okay to go until 40 minutes, Tracy?
Yeah, yeah. And we could probably do 45.
45.
Come on, guys.
Lucky us, guys. Okay, 10 more minutes to answer questions. We're going to try and get through as many as we can. So thank you, guys. Okay, I'm going to pick one from TikTok. Let's see. So many coming in. Okay.
What have you got for me, Tyler?
Tracy, why do sometimes a deceased person's body look like wax when they've been embalmed?
I think there's certain chemicals people have been using for many years, the embalming chemicals, and they used to be quite harsh. And a lot of it, if they're looking a bit waxy, it's a very high percentage of embalming, so a strong embalming fluid percentage, and it tends to make the body look not as natural as it should do, turning it quite smooth. And that's also putting too much fluid in also, because what we're doing when we're putting fluid in embalming, we're preserving the body as well as plumping the body back up. So if too much fluid's in, it gets rid of your natural wrinkles and your natural wrinkles on your body, like your lines that you have. So it smooths everything out and makes everything look too smooth. And the higher the percentage, the more waxy the body can look, because it goes quite hard. The chemicals we use these days, that I use, that I'm trained with, are totally different. But people still use their old ones. They're very traditional, and a lot of the old embalmers still swear by them because they've used them forever. So I tend to use these ones which are a bit more environmentally friendly, and they make the body really feel natural. So after embalming, you can't really tell. As an embalmer, we can, because we can see the change. But the skin and everything stays the same. Just get Melissa, don't touch it all, get Melissa. The skin stays the same when we embalm the body here. It feels soft, looks soft, and looks natural. So it's to do with the chemical. It's the high percentage and the strong chemicals. So we tend to use slightly different ones. So that's why.
Well said, Tracy. So what is the largest person that you have ever cared for?
The largest person I've ever cared for was 370 kilograms. Yes,
Is that serious?
Yes, that's funny. Yes, and that wasn't him. That was the place. Yes. Mm-hmm. I don't know what that is in pounds and stones, but it's large. It's very large. Yeah. That person. We had to get a specially made coffin because we have three sizes of coffin. We have a standard. We have an oversized, which is just one oversized. We have a double oversized, which is we see next, and then a triple oversized. But this person had to have what we call a wardrobe made. It's basically a big square box. So these two tables together is probably what it looks like, a wardrobe on its side.
Just for reference to all of the viewers who don't know, 370 kilograms, 370
kilograms
is 815 pounds.
Oh, there you go.
Just for reference to all of our viewers out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Would our lift accommodate
No.
that? No.
No, not at all. Not at all. No, we had to get a lot of people to help. It was not here, it was in a different funeral home where I used to work, and we had to lift it, but we also had to have I think it was about 10 people altogether that we had help coffin this gentleman. It was on the lifter, and we did have to get sheets underneath also, and just hold the sheets, all of us on each side. So 5 on one side, 5 on the other, and just guide him in gently down into the coffin. So yeah, that was the biggest one. So I had to have a lot of people helping just to care for that one. So yeah, we've got people out there. Don't know where Melissa is. Where's Melissa gone? Sorry, there's just stuff happening at work behind us.
Very busy at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah.
Okay, what we might answer 2 more questions. We're coming up to the 45-minute mark.
Let's do it.
So 2 more questions, guys. I'm going to answer one from YouTube and one from TikTok. So thank you everybody for tuning in. 2 more questions. I'm going to try and pick the best ones. Okay, we'll go with this one, Tracy. This is often an interesting answer and a commonly asked question. So, Tracy, what's the worst case you've worked on? I believe they're referring to potentially the worst trauma or.
Oh, trauma. Um, yeah, I've got two cases that stay with me forever, and it's a young 24-year-old girl that took her own life under a train. Uh, the the state her body was in was just, it's still to this day, I still have the vision in my head, and that was way back in 2013, I think it was. That was horrific. It was awful. It was really hard. It was terrible because I got to know her really well from her mum by sending me a big letter about her life and photos from her birth to her death. That was pretty awful. And the other case was two children that were killed in a car accident. They had to be reconstructed. Basically, you had to rebuild the little girl's face, the little boy's face, and reattach them limbs. And them two children stayed in my mortuary for nearly 4 months until the mother, who was in the car of the accident, she was on life support. And they didn't think she was going to wake up, but she did. And my husband insisted that them children stayed in the funeral home until she woke up so she could say her goodbyes to view them. So they're the two worst cases that I've had. And that was a long time ago, but they stay with you. I've got a lot more in the back of my head there. Yeah.
We're getting a lot of very, very empathetic responses in the chat.
Oh.
Lots of love is being shown, Tracy.
So,
Not easy to talk about these things, but this is what we try and do. We try to.
yeah, you kind of you put it away there. It's there all the time, but that's how we deal with it. We put it back there. Yeah.
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 What a superhero you really are.
Oh, I'm just.
That's
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're going to answer one lucky last question. We're at 42 minutes on the live stream. So just want to thank everybody for joining us, first and foremost. And please check out our TikTok and YouTube if we didn't get around to your question today. We really do try to cover every question that we get, but unfortunately, it can be really hard sometimes. So do check that out, show your love and support so that we can keep on bringing you guys this sort of content. So lucky last question. I'm going to give a couple of seconds for them to flow in.
Okay. What is it? So my body's all right. Got to get on to a busy afternoon now. So what is it? Oh.
Okay.
What is it?
Tracy, do you find your job rewarding?
I do. I absolutely do find my job rewarding. When you're talking about being, like, people want to be in the funeral industry, they want to do this job, this particular job, working in the mortuary, I shall give you some of the advice of what it is. It is extremely rewarding because we're caring for other people so families can get their last goodbye. But it also is extremely hard. It's physically hard. It's mentally hard. It's long hours. Pay's not that good. Boss might be watching, but that's just general around funeral homes. And it's hard work, and we're on call as well, so you've got to go out on call. So we've got to work nights as well as working through the week and everything. It's a bloody hard job. It's hard work. We see some sites that people would never even see in their lifetime, and you don't want to see these in your lifetime. It's awful work some days, but most days it's beautiful. You know, it's not all trauma. It's not, and we don't all walk around with our faces like, oh, you know, all my work. Got to be sad every day. It's not like that. It's not like that at all. We're very unique people. We've got some dark humor. You have to have a bit dark humor to work in this industry because, you know, you got to keep yourself sane. But every day it's usually, you know, we're caring for the little old lady or the little old man that passed away. We're washing, dressing, we're helping families constantly every day. So it's beautiful to actually help these people. It's beautiful to actually be privileged to be able to look after somebody's loved one because you're giving your loved one to a complete stranger. And to me, that's a big weird. I want whoever looks after my loved ones to treat them the way I will treat them. So that's how I do it with everybody every day. Care, respect, dignity. That's what we do. And I go home and I don't normally meet the families or see the families or know what happens after the viewings or what happens at the funeral services because I'm here and nobody knows we exist half the time. But I know I can go home and sleep at night because to me, I did a good job today. And I went, oh, I did a good job today. So it is very rewarding. So with all the negative in there, there's a lot of good. So if you want to get on the industry, try. It is good.
Sure.
It gives you muscles too. You see big muscles. So I'm not very big, but I'm strong.
Very good. Awesome. Well, thank you for an amazing live stream, Tracy. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We will no doubt be catching you next week or in the following weeks.
Yeah.
So, thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Thank you. Take care. Until next